Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a book recommendations video, but it's like if you liked this book, you'd like this book kind of format. It's pretty popular on BookTube, so I'm not going to like explain it too much. But yeah, it's basically, for me, the books that I'm comparing are quite similar in genre, but also there's something about either the writing style or the plot that kind of makes me think that if you like one book, you like the other book. So that's what I'm basing it off, essentially. So yeah, let's just get into it. First one. So if you liked The Hunger Games, you'd like Unwind by Neal Shusterman. So The Hunger Games needs no explanation. A lot of people love this book, but I think if you love The Hunger Games, you would like Unwind. So basically this is set in a dystopian future, like The Hunger Games, where unwanted teens are like harvested for their body parts and their organs, so that people who need organ donations or limbs or other things get them from these unwind children. And so there's some runaways who are supposed to be unwinds, and they go on this massive journey to try and escape being unwinded. And Neal Shusterman's the same author that wrote the Scythe series, the Arc of the Scythe series, that a lot of people on BookTube love, but I don't think a lot of people have read his earlier works. So yeah, I read this, I really enjoyed it. I found it very similar to The Hunger Games, and I think you'd like it if you like The Hunger Games. This one is, if you liked Three Dark Crowns, I know this isn't Three Dark Crowns, it's the second one, but I lended out Three Dark Crowns, so we're going to pretend this is Three Dark Crowns. So if you liked Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake, you'd like Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes. Also, just a note on how I'm doing this, I'm recommending them, like I just paired up books of ones that I thought were similar, but then the less popular one I like explain, because I don't think you need to explain Three Dark Crowns. It's like triplet sisters who have to fight to the death to become queen. The one who's left becomes queen, and there's a 4-book series surrounding it. So that's that. Oh my god, right. I think if you liked that, you'd like Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes. This is a sort of Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland backstory. Heartless has done this by Marissa Meyer. There's a few other books that I've heard of that do this. There's a lot of Alice in Wonderland retellings, but I thought these were similar because this one's dark as well. Now, Three Dark Crowns, I wouldn't necessarily like say it's dark, but it's definitely darker than just the concept itself is quite dark. And I think this is quite dark as well. So basically, Princess Dina is the Queen of Hearts, and so she gets her heart broken and is launched into this world that's kind of magical and crazy, and I can't really explain it well, but it's really cool. It's kind of a bit darker than a lot of the other kind of retellings, and also I think the sort of desperation aspect of this, like they're both fantasies obviously, but I think they're both, like the queens in this and also Dina are very desperate, and that kind of drives the plot. And so I thought they were quite similar. If you liked Everless by Sarah Holland, you'd like Frostblood by Ellie Blake. So Everless, your blood is your like your currency, and your blood is time. Blood is currency. So the poor people sell their blood, they live shorter lives, and then the rich people drink blood, get longer lives. There's a class sort of thing going on, and it kind of it massively increases the tensions between the classes. And yeah, I'm going to be doing quite brief descriptions for the first books, just because this is pretty popular, you probably know about it. But then, comparatively, Frostblood by Ellie Blake. So basically this is a land full of Frostbloods and Firebloods. So Ruby, our main character, is a Firebloods, and her village is raided by Frostbloods, and she's taken into this castle, and meets this warrior and tries to escape with him, essentially. But I thought these were very similar because in Everless, our main character goes into the Everless court, kind of in the depths of these kind of rich people to work, and then this, she goes to this, in the heart of the enemy, to the court of the Frost King. So they're very similar, like in actual plot and like what happens, but also there's a divide between people, and this is kind of more the class system, even though there is kind of some class system commentary kind of in Frostblood, but there's tension between Frostbloods and Firebloods, tension between rich people and poor people, and I think they're very similar. I think the writing styles are very similar. I think if you like this, you'd like this, you'd like this. So yeah. Next comparison is, if you liked Call It What You Want by Bridget Kemmerer, you'd like We're All Made of Molecules by Susan Nielsen. So Call It What You Want, I think Bridget Kemmerer is quite a popular author. She also wrote Letters to the Lost and More Than We Can Tell, and also she's recently branched out into fantasy. She writes for A Curse So Dark and Lonely series, but basically this is a YA contemporary following two characters, Rob and Megan. So Rob, basically his dad, his family's really rich, but then his dad was caught embezzling, and it kind of ruined his life basically. And Megan was this really smart, like, overachiever, and turns out she, like, the previous school year to the school year that we're following, she cheated in her SAT exam, I think, and then I'm not sure. She cheated in a big exam, and the whole like year, I think, had to redo it. Very mad at her about that. And then also her sister's pregnant, so, and she's like 19 or something. So they're both struggling a lot in school and in family, and they kind of build a relationship and help each other out, and it's such a comfort read for me. I remember when I said I wasn't going to explain these much. Here we are. And then We're All Made of Molecules by Susan Nielsen is about Stuart and Ashley. Stuart is this kind of geeky, really gifted, sort of very, very intelligent boy, but he's kind of socially clueless. And his mum has died, and his dad moves in with Ashley's mum. And Ashley's this kind of popular person, but her grades are bad. And then her dad has come out as gay and moved out to the shed. And so Stuart and Ashley kind of have to deal with suddenly being forced together, and kind of the whole dynamic with the gay dad in the shed. And it's, their worlds are kind of colliding and sort of dealing with being a blended family, but also there's a lot of difficult topics in here, so I'd say trigger warning, sexual assault, but it is quite a sort of whimsical, younger side of YA, possibly even middle grade. I would say it's YA, but like, it's kind of towing the line between middle grade and YA, but it does cover some really difficult topics really well. And so both these books are about family and about school and about how those dynamics work, and yeah. Final one is probably my worst comparison because they're both really popular books, but here we go. If you like One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus, you'd like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I don't need to explain One of Us is Lying. It's literally the most popular like crime thriller YA there's been in such a long time. Good Girl's Guide to Murder equally is very popular, but we're just gonna do this, okay? So basically, this girl Andy Bell was murdered by Sal Singh. Like, the police, like the town, everyone kind of knows that. But having grown up in this town, Pip isn't quite so sure. Pip is our main character, and she, I think for her EPQ, it's like a British thing, it's like a project that you can do while you're studying for your A-levels, so like, I don't know what that'd be in America, like your final exams before you go off to uni or college. And essentially, she chooses to do her project on this murder, and she kind of uses that as a guise for investigating this murder, and it's really interesting. There's a lot of twists and turns. twists and turns, and I think people who like this would really enjoy it, but I do know it's none, but they're both really popular. That's that. Please let me know if you've read a pair of the books, like what you think, and if you think they're accurate. If you have any more suggestions or video ideas, things you want me to do, leave them in the comments below. My links, well, my @ to my Instagram and my Twitter will be down below, and also my podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and bye!